Welcome back, Tweetsters. People who win large amounts of money on lotteries tend to switch their political allegiances towards the right of the political spectrum and become less egalitarian, joint UK-Australian researchers found. The study, Does Money Make People Right-Wing and Egalitarian?, was conducted by the University of Melbourne, the London School of Economics, and the University of Warwick. The researchers based their conclusions on a long-term study of thousands of UK citizens who won up to £200,000 in the lottery. The data is included in the British Household Panel Survey, which, among many other things, keeps an annual record of the way in which people's political attitudes have changed. Winning more than £500 shifted people's views approximately 0.13 points on the scale to the right. That's equivalent to about a 2% shift towards the conservative end of the spectrum. It might not sound like a huge shift, but it was significant compared with other factors that influence an individual's politics. Completing secondary education to the age of 18 nudged people along the political spectrum by nearly 4% to the right, compared with people who have no formal education, according to the survey data. And the greater the lottery win, the greater the shift to the right. Existing Conservative voters who won lottery money said their support for the party had strengthened after the lucky break, while winners from all political persuasions were more likely to say that ordinary people already had a fair share of wealth compared with before the win. Nearly 18% of winners immediately switched their support to the Conservatives after their wins over the course of the study. This effect was far more pronounced in men than in women. The reason for this is not clear, except that men tended to win more than women and also played the lottery more than women. The researchers noted that the findings are consistent with a broader conclusion that an increase in a person's overall household income is associated with a rise in their belief in the justice of the current wealth distribution in society. Data suggests that very broadly, richer people tend to be more right-wing and poorer people tend to support the Labour Party. Most of us hardly change our views, researchers said, although ageing is associated with becoming more conservative. But a lottery win is a standout factor in what makes people change their views. It has two effects. It makes people more likely to change their allegiance from Labour to Conservative, and their support tends to change within their party allegiance. The researchers said that the larger the win, the more people were tempted to vote for a Conservative party. Humans are creatures of flexible ethics, they said. So while they're not sure exactly what goes on inside people's brains, it seems having more money causes people to favour conservative, right-wing ideas. Their study provides empirical evidence that voting choices are made out of self-interest. The researchers said the project had made them doubt the view that morality was an objective choice. In the voting booth, monetary self-interest casts a long shadow, despite people's protestations that there are intellectual reasons for voting for low tax rates. Robert Ford, who has studied voting behaviour as a lecturer in politics at the University of Manchester, said, "It gets around all sorts of problems with the idea that people vote in a certain way because of the amount of money they have, which can be dependent on a lot of other factors, such as who their parents are, what their job is, which might push their vote in a certain direction. But people randomly getting any amount of money allows the researchers to isolate this factor and interrogate the data more simply." He added that while it suggests that self-interest plays a part in people's voting behaviour, it would be going a bit far to say that people always voted in self-interest, because clearly they don't. And it's an exceptional circumstance because most people don't get their money via a lottery win. In some ways, it reminds me of the experience of the Beatles or Adele, who were very working class, but once they came quite quickly into large amounts of money, started to feel differently about all sorts of things. An implication of the study is that people's political beliefs are more fickle than some would like to think. Most people who do research on political preferences believe that they are almost inborn. You grow up and gain a strong political belief that won't be shifted, a researcher said. But even something like a lottery win can shift our core beliefs. There's a well-established link between having more money and being more right-wing. But this is tricky to disentangle from the values people grow up with and the social circles they move in. Using the data on lottery winners suggests having a lump sum of cash land in your bank account, whatever your background and prior beliefs, really does cause a significant shift in views.